All right, we're live on Twitch.
Hey, buddies.
Oh, jeez.
You don't like it?
No, you just came in loud and in charge.
Hey, buddies.
Okay,
Is that better?
Yeah.
Do you want me to tell you about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when we're in the actual episode, or you want me to tell you right now?
I think you got to follow your heart.
Yeah, you're right.
Do what 98 Degrees says and be true to your heart. Be
Oh,
true
yeah.
to yourself.
Yeah,
That's when the heavens will part.
yeah.
When you are true to your heart.
I had a response to that, but then I realized it was in sync, and it didn't really.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're different.
They are different. Thanks for telling me that.
No problem.
Thanks for telling me what I already know.
I wish it was 98 degrees outside.
Do you?
Yeah, it's like the opposite right now.
Oh,
89 degrees.
stupid.
Oh,
That's stupid.
I guess that's not the opposite.
I mean it is, but it's not. That's only a 10-degree difference.
Right, I know
11,
that's why it's
11.
funny. It's funny in one of those things where it sets you up to think of
If
something.
this is what you think is good, I can't.
Oh my gosh.
I can't wait till you start talking about
objectively
comic books.
funny
Disagree.
to say I wish it was 98 degrees when it's about the opposite outside, which is 89 degrees.
Yeah,
It's not. It's so cold out.
I understand. It is cold.
And it's funny.
You're right.
Gosh.
It's cold. It's cold.
Good thing Monty Python didn't hire you at the Get Out.
Yeah, it's true.
The outset.
At the Get Out.
I
Nick Gunning was hired at the Get Out.
wish I could hire you to get out.
All right, should we start this episode?
Here's your weekly
It's
payment
episode-
to Get Out.
It's episode 183.
All right.
That's a good deal. You're paying me money.
To not be here. I guess.
I'll take it.
I guess it's stupid of me.
Yeah, it
Why
is.
wouldn't I just not show up?
That's true.
So,
If the difference is proximity,
yeah.
you have your own volition. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah. Oh, volition. Oh, this just in.
No,
Eric is acting on his
Mine-
own volition.
mine was right, so
Oh.
that doesn't really.
All right, let's record.
Let's do it.
Hold on. Are you watching this on Twitch?
I haven't yet. No.
Oh.
Oh, there we are. Yeah,
Yeah. Does it look like we're really tiny?
we do look tiny. That's
All
okay
right.
though. It's
Well,
all
we
right.
got a special guest coming.
Yeah.
later.
Well, yeah. When you scoot over, it'll be good.
Okay.
Let's make it roll.
Can we make it rain?
Hmm.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Welcome to 183 of the All the Book Show.
Episode 183 to be precise.
What did I say?
Just 183.
Welcome to episode 183
Yeah, that makes
of the
more
All the
sense.
Book Show, recorded at the David A. Howe Public Library. We talk book news, author news, and literary news, and sometimes just authors
Yeah.
aren't about the news,
Yeah.
but we're just talking about them. We're putting we have a spotlight like Gotham Central has on their rooftop.
Boy.
But instead of pointing it up into
said.
the sky with
Well
a bat
said.
signal, we
All
point it
of that was.
downwards at a book.
Yes, we do talk
specifically
about
an
all
author.
those things. He's Eric Mickles, and I'm Nick Gunning.
Hey, question.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot already.
All right. That's all right.
Oh, wait. Should we ask listeners to help us come up with the title?
Sure. Go ahead.
We want to come up with something. We
Yeah.
want to change our name a little
Expand
bit.
the title a little bit.
We're All the Book Show, but there's also another All the Book Show.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter how much we try to put Book Riot out
Yeah.
of business
Oh, yeah.
with our independent podcast, it's not working.
Yeah.
So we want to put something. We want to use all the books since that's what we are.
Yeah.
But, so we want like something and all the books, or all the books and we need so they're different.
I suggested 2 guys, a girl in all the books, but there's no girl.
Yeah, we don't have
because
a
Kate
co-host.
hates to be on the
Kate
show,
hates
so
to
we
be on
can't.
the podcast.
we can't
My
do
wife
that.
has a full-time job.
Yeah, and a full-time podcast. So
That's true,
She's pretty
yeah.
busy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
We were just
so-
talking. Oh, G Gundam, but last pick she had, she talked to Lizzie McGuire.
Mm.
Both not of our time, I think.
Mhm. Yeah,
So you haven't followed the career of Hilary Duff.
I haven't. No.
Do you
And,
know-
and largely, America has agreed with me.
Do you know the Lizzie McGuire movie came out the same day as X-Men 2, X-Men
Why would I
United?
know that? Why would I know that? No, I don't know.
I just thought it was funny, and then that's how I learned about counter-programming.
I see. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, today we're going to be talking about the author Kwame Alexander, who Eric recently met.
I did meet him.
saw from afar.
Yeah.
And Eric's used this as part of his teen book club for years now.
Security was
So-
dragging Nick away. He was like, Kwame!
Yeah, that's exactly what
It's
happened.
me, Nick!
Yep. So Malik's doing this. We're doing a book club on the crossover. Malik's doing that one with us, so he's going to join us a little later. We're going to talk about the crossover specifically and
Uh-huh.
all Kwame Alexander.
Yeah.
Because I think between the two of us, we read quite a few of them.
Yeah.
So we're in pretty good
I've
shape.
read 3.
I've read 4 in the picture and the picture books.
I read
so-
a picture book.
Yeah.
Save it.
Yeah.
This
all
is
right. Yeah, you're right.
good
Too much. Too
stuff.
much. Too much too soon. What have you been reading? Let's get right into the bookmark.
Okay. Are you going to give me an attitude about
No.
the thing? Because I was like, oh, I look at this new comic I got, and you're like, I haven't heard of that, or this stupid stuff you were reading over the weekend.
No, I don't plan on doing that.
Okay. So I read Black Hammer.
Oh, what's that? Something you made up?
So Black Hammer is by Jeff Lemire, who you've read something of.
I have.
What? It's something you don't like, though.
I would love to tell you. Keep talking and I'll
All
find
right,
out.
Jeff Lemire. This is a Dark Horse comic. It's been recommended a few times on the Weekly Planet, so I gave it a go.
Talking about a lot of podcasts today.
I know, yeah. Listen to every podcast but ours, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
You know what?
What?
Incorrect.
What?
Jeff Lemire wrote Teen Titans Earth 1 Volumes 1 and 2.
Oh, okay.
And I loved
There you
Teen
go.
Titans Earth 1 Volume
Yeah.
1. So I guess I'm a Jeff Lemire fan.
Okay.
I read those two, and I read some of his Old Man Logan.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, continue. What is this
anyway.
called? Dark Hammer? The Hammer of Thor? Hammer of Truth? Hammer of Justice? Hammer Time? Hammerhead Shark? What is it?
The Hammer Bros?
The Hammer Bros?
No.
Oh,
It's not
well.
called the Hammer Bros. Those are
Okay.
Mario villains.
All right.
Black Hammer.
Black Hammer.
So it's
It's that Netflix show where you can choose your own adventure.
that's Black Mirror.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
right. Okay. With Barbara Streisand.
Is this because I asked you not to say one thing, and so now you're saying everything?
I'm just trying to participate.
So Black Hammer
Uh-huh.
is a comic book, a Dark Horse comic it's another one of those like superhero universes that are really like a commentary on Marvel and DC.
Oh.
So you have a character.
A thinking man's comic.
You have a character that's kind of like Thor. You have a character that's like.
Does he have the Hammer Bro? Is he the Hammer
No.
Bro?
You have a character that's like Mary Marvel, that's like Martian Manhunter, that's like Captain America, etc.
Okay.
And I thought it was going to be like just like a darker take on that kind of stuff, but what it is these superheroes are trapped on this farm and they can't escape. They were fighting a villain called
Something
the Anti-God.
like that happened in the Avengers 2, where they all got trapped on a farm, couldn't get out of there.
They fought the Anti-God.
Okay.
A big light happened. They ended up here. One of them tried to escape and is dead. And so now they're just stuck there and they can't get home. And they've like, some of them have given up hope and everything.
Okay. Is it a working farm? Are they able to sustain themselves?
Yeah,
based on
there's
the
a
farm?
town nearby.
Oh,
There's
okay.
a local town and everybody else seems to be normal.
Is Anti-God just the devil?
No, he's kind of their dark side analogy.
Okay.
Anyway, so it's just them trying to escape and also being weird and different in like a 1950s farm.
That sounds fun.
The person who's like the Mary Marvel,
Yeah.
she's
Mary Marvel, you're talking about like Shazam's
Yeah.
sister.
yeah.
Okay.
So like
Everything else you
one
said
of the
was Marvel, so I was
characters-
confused.
Well, it's Marvel and DC kind
Okay,
of stuff.
all right.
Like this girl, when she was like in college, she got this power to be like Shazam, that would turn her into like an 8-year-old girl, but with superpowers. And then she started getting older and older
Okay.
in real life.
Yeah.
But she could still turn back into this kid. Well, anyway,
She's like a reverse Shazam.
yeah.
She's like a lady reverse
Yeah.
Shazam.
So anyway, she's 50-something. She's going off to fight the Anti-God
Okay.
in her, superhero form, which
Lady
is
Shazam girl.
8-year. So now she's stuck as this 8-year-old girl.
Oh.
On this farm with them as
Jeez.
well. So like she hates it because she doesn't want to, and that's sad. You have another character.
It's kind of dark.
Yeah, it's a dark story.
Wow.
So anyways, some of them have gone a little bit stir crazy. They've been here for 10 years.
Okay.
So I thought it was going to be like different vignettes, but it's really just been about these characters here. So the first 2 volumes, I was waiting for a twist or a resolution to happen because I'm like, get to the other stuff. But you get, you can go through and read as you're reading it. There's flashbacks of their life in their own universe being superheroes and stuff. So like the Captain America analogy starts feeling out of date. So he goes 90s and his costume's all spiky and everything, but he's still kind of out of date and everything. But yeah, I'm gonna keep reading it, and there's a lot of different spin-offs right now. So I have one more volume, I think, of this like main story and then the spin-offs.
I'm not going to lie to you. You kind of sold me on that.
Well, I returned them. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I returned them because I couldn't put myself through this again. Where I'd be like, "Hey, Nick, you'd like this," and you're like, "I don't know," and then I'm like, "Fine, I don't want you to like it. You wouldn't like it." And then you'd be like, "I like it now."
Just an unnecessary personal attack. I don't.
I'm just
sitting here asking questions, being
You might
thoughtful.
like it. I don't know if you'll find it. Because, like, where Invincible
Yes.
and Astro City are kind of like the same things. Where
I haven't read Astro City.
Well, they're both kind of like, we're our own superhero universe, but
Okay.
everybody's kind of an analogy for Marvel or DC.
Okay.
And we're commenting on their history and stuff.
Right.
But then, like, Invincible is now really just its own superhero
Oh,
universe.
yeah. And I love it.
And I guess what Jeff Lemire is trying to do is stay like a commentary and not become part of, like, the superhero mentality. You know what I mean?
Okay.
He doesn't want to treat it as like a superhero property.
Okay.
And I guess that's why the art is the way it is, kind of weird and sketchy.
All right.
I guess it's becoming a show, maybe Netflix.
Oh.
I don't know where it's happening.
Okay. Cool.
Anyway, that was a lot about Black Hammer.
It was.
Tune into the All the Book show next week where we don't talk about Black Hammer.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about it at all.
I finished Gambit Volume 1, the
Ooh.
complete collection.
Yeah.
Longtime friends and or listeners might know that I've been wanting to read this Gambit comic for a while. This is from 1999.
Yeah, my wife has this.
Yeah. I was a little down. I think if
that's
I
too
had
bad.
read this back in like 2000 or 2001, I would have loved it. It would have been great.
Usually 90s Marvel holds up so
It's
well.
not late 90s X-Men. Yeah, it's still good. It's still quality.
Okay.
But it is dated, and not just like its time period, but in the standards that were being used to write and illustrate comics.
Oh, okay.
Very wordy, interludes in the comics.
Can't handle
very dense, but very episodic. So it's strange. Yeah, I don't know. I guess your mileage may vary on how much you love Gambit.
Yeah.
Which Nick does a lot.
If you're Taylor Kitsch, you only get one shot at it.
Yeah.
So to make it
Yeah,
count.
and if you're what's his face, you might never get a shot now.
Yeah.
Well,
Channing Tatum.
I read Rebound by Kwame Alexander.
Hey,
but we'll talk about
I loved that
later.
one. Yeah, we will.
That's
Yeah,
it
you're
for me
right.
then.
We will.
Yeah, that's it for me.
That's
then.
it for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I would love to take the reins on this. Let me tell you some of the things that I've read.
What have you
Okay?
read?
I read a few Kwame Alexanders myself. I read Solo, and I read Booked. Those are by Kwame Alexander.
Mm-hmm.
Then I read Zero Sum Game.
Right, with Jeremy Jam from
No.
Parks and Rec.
No, that's Julian Bashir from Deep Space Nine. And again, I finished this book.
Uh-huh.
Don't care about those characters, and I thought it was pretty good.
Oh,
so
well.
I'm liking. I'm liking this arc. It's pretty good
I would rather play a one-sum game.
because then you know you're gonna get
Something.
yeah
Yeah, at least
one.
Yeah.
Zero Sum Game. There's no yeah.
Why even play?
No matter how you add it up.
Yeah.
Let's see. I read a few graphic novels. I read Superman Savage Dawn. This one kind of snuck up on me because, as you know, I've been a big fan of the Superman Truth era
Yeah.
where Superman's depowered and going through some stuff. And this was kind of an abrupt ending to that. And I didn't realize, I guess the cover should have tipped me off, but I didn't realize that, like, this was really it because there are other, like, sort of supplemental books. So I love the storyline, but it was kind of jarring just how much it went back to just the way things always were. Like, as soon as that happens, it's like, bam, we're right back into it.
Yep.
Which has happened before with Denny O'Neil did the Wonder Woman run where she's
in the
depowered.
70s?
Yeah. And then there's also a run where Superman himself is not depowered, but he's a more reasonable power.
Mhm.
Like Silver
Or
Age
dead.
Silver Age Superman could be like, I'm just going to go grab Jupiter and move it, you
Yeah.
know. And Denny O'Neil tried to ground it a little bit. And as soon as those were done in the 70s, so there's Superman like knocking two planets together like
Yeah.
he's the Three Stooges.
Yeah.
The same thing happened here, like within the same collection. It was like the next minute. It was
Right.
like, there's Lois. I have my powers. You know, Wonder Woman's like, hey, Steve Trevor, we're fine.
Yeah.
And it was kind of disappointing.
You ever like fight with a friend, you guys kind of like break up for a few weeks, and then you get back together and you're like, oh, just the same. That's what it's like. Yeah.
I don't think I have had a friend break up.
Oh. All right. Well, Nick.
Oh, no.
Now I kind of also want you to decide which three planets are which Three Stooges.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
That would be good.
So are the outer planets the ones with, like Jupiter and Saturn, like the big ones? Like I'm sure.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Larry is Saturn because of the hair.
Okay.
He already kind of
Larry's
has that
Saturn,
look.
right.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Curly's, big and lunky,
So
so I guess
Jupiter?
I would say he's Jupiter.
all right.
Mo, pretty quick.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to say he's Mercury.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mercury is so tiny.
I know.
So
I know, but that's where the strength comes from. Shemp,
Yeah.
Uranus.
Okay.
Let's see, what else?
Jupiter's almost a star. I think that's something we always learn, but then we forget very quickly.
I didn't know until you said that.
Oh yeah.
So it's
It's
good for me to learn.
just so
It is.
big.
It's gaseous, sure.
Its size almost
Yeah.
makes it a star.
Okay.
It also has kind of a
It's
barrier.
Rude to talk about its size. but-
Its size protects us from like comets and other stuff hitting
Thanks,
us
Jupiter.
because the gravitational pull of Jupiter is so much stronger.
Otherwise, we'd be getting all sorts of drops of Jupiter. Let's see. I read
You're lucky I love planet humor.
Trail of the Catwoman by Ed Brubaker and Darwin Cook. Very good,
Is
very
this volume
cool,
2?
very
This is
slick.
volume 1.
Yeah.
You were reading this last
I was
time.
reading
That's
it
where I got
last week. Yeah,
confused.
and I finished it.
Yeah.
Very good. I plan on reading
Did
more.
you pick this up because you hated that that YA graphic novel so much?
Yes.
You were like, I have to remember why I even like this character.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did it work?
Eric's referring to the what? I don't even remember what that's called. The Lauren Miracle
Under
the Moon.
Yeah.
Under the Moon. Terrible. With apologies, of course.
Yes.
But it was terrible.
She was very nice.
Terrible. And then I read The Green Hornet Strikes. So this is Dynamite's attempt to bring back the Green Hornet again.
Again.
Like post the Kevin Smith era.
Yeah.
Not good. It's set in the future, and it's one of those things. They only got 10 issues, and you don't get any like Green Hornet, Kato being those characters together until issue 10. So it's like an Amazing Spider-Man situation where it's like, just get going already and stop. So it wasn't good.
Speaking of friend breakups,
yes,
it's a good thing we haven't had one.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to see this journey of just Nick, the normal guy, Nick, the guy who's really into Green Hornet, and Nick, the guy who is still really into Green Hornet.
Still reading Green Hornet.
You just you just got something on your Roku.
On my Roku, the Green Hornet channel.
Just the Green Hornet channel.
It's got 60s Green Hornet. It's got Green Hornet serials. And Overdrive has Green Hornet radio shows.
How did you type in Green Hornet in the search menu?
We've been watching the Adam West Batman, and there's a one where they fight with the 60s Green Hornet TV show.
Right.
And I was trying to find if any channel had the 60s TV show, and it was like Green Hornet channel, and I was like, that'll do.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm glad I've been able to see this on your
I'm glad you've been there, too. I'm currently reading... do you think your wife is listening to this podcast?
Mm-hmm. Maybe. Okay. Why? Are you reading?
I was just going to say that Truly Madly Guilty has basically cured me of wanting to read Leanne Moriarty books. We've been doing this endless winter book club where we've been reading a Leanne Moriarty book every week.
Right.
Every month.
Okay.
And I just don't think her books, and I know that your wife would disagree with me on this, but I just don't think that her books... I don't think you can read them back to back to back because they are so cookie cutter. There's a lot of variation within them, but the format is so similar that it just gets lost.
Right.
And Truly Madly Guilty, I hate so far. I'm just going to say that I hate it. Very few things have interested me about it. I don't like it. I'm so glad that I've already read Big Little Lies because I couldn't take reading another one of these books after this one.
Kendra, honey, I need you to pull the car over, okay? I just need you to take a few breaths. Just calm down before you get back on the road. And, we can get through this. Maybe next time he asks us over to watch a movie or something, we say we're busy, all right? And then the power's back to us.
All that to say, we're reading Truly Madly Guilty for the Endless Winter Book Club mid-March, followed by, what's the one called that everybody likes? Big Little Lies. Which is very good. I stand by that's being very good, but I'm glad I don't have to read it right now.
Oh, man.
It would kill me. And then I'm reading Batman Begins, novelization of the movie by Denny O'Neil, everybody. And I'm really enjoying it. He's done a lot of working in different mythos from the Bat, or different things from the Bat mythos. It's a good book.
You know what's funny about you reading Batman Begins, the novelization?
Tell me.
Not just the fact that movie came out in 2005.
Long time ago, sure.
So it's 14 years old now.
I had to get this on eBay.
So it's not just the fact that you're reading it now instead of then.
Right.
It's that you've already read Dark Knight Rises, the novelization.
Yeah, I have.
So if anything, you're now reading this almost like it's a prequel.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it. That's a good way to put it.
It's just,
I'll tell you what happened.
And you don't like the Christopher Nolan films, but you've read 2 of the 3 books.
I mean, I do really like Dark Knight Rises, and I like Batman Begins quite a lot.
Yeah.
So
does this guy.
Here's the thing. I was thinking I should watch Batman Begins, but I've seen it a bunch, know, and I just thought, well, maybe I'll experience the story in another way. So I picked up the novelization, and I've been enjoying it.
Okay.
I don't have to defend myself.
Yeah.
That's it for me, reading-wise.
Okay.
But I will tell you one thing that I'm into right now. I'll tell you 2 things, all right? The first...
Speaking of friend breakups.
Original flavor goldfish. You've heard of the cheddar variety. Well, there's an original, and they're delicious. Okay. So that's one thing. The second thing I'm into, Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles show. My wife and I powered through 3 episodes.
Oh.
It's so funny. It's hand-drawn. I like the art. Cracks me up. We were laughing right out loud. And my wife was saying it's a lot of anime inspiration in there. She'd be like, "Oh, look, there's Trigon," or "Oh, look, there was a Totoro reference where they
You meant Trigon.
That's what I said.
You said Trigon
from
Raven's
Teen Titans. Sure. Yeah. Sure. Speaking of, sorry, this is another digression, but first of all, Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, very good. We also watched the pilot for Doom Patrol on DC Universe based on the DC Comics, specifically on the Grant Morrison era run, but very good. Very, very
good.
The
Doom comics.
Doom Patrol.
Yeah.
Doom Patrol.
Yeah.
It was just a really, the tone, they hit the tone just right. It's a weird show. You see a lot of Brendan Fraser. But
really, I thought he was just in the robot suit. Like,
well,
but
this you get everybody's origin. You see a lot of him. He is a great centerpiece for that too. I know people like to rag on Brendan Fraser, but he does very well in this.
I think he's kind of gotten a reevaluation
that's good.
Some of us, like this guy, were right back
Yeah.
then in saying he was a good actor.
I never not liked
Yeah.
Brendan Fraser, so I'm right with you. I did not like Mummy: Curse of the
I didn't see
whatever
the
third
one.
one.
Yeah.
That was terrible.
We're part of the problem.
Love Scorpion King. No, I saw that in theaters.
Yeah.
And we were all like, "Oh no."
Yeah. I rented Scorpion King, and I was like, "This isn't for me. I'm
Not for you?
I'm
Not
not
for
this
you?
kind of person.
Mhm.
I'm not the MTV generation."
I guess you're not. Yeah.
All
All right. Well, that's gonna do it for me.
I saw Alita: Battle Angel,
Oh yeah.
which is based on a manga, so it's a page-to-screen
page
adaptation.
to screen, baby.
My wife thought it was dumb. Like we were
Ninja
leaving.
Turtles is based on a comic book, so it's also a page.
That's
to
true.
screen.
Yeah. We were leaving the movie theater. I'm like, so did you like it? She was like, no.
Yeah.
Not just like that she thought it was bad, that she was shocked that I even had to ask her.
Hmm.
But I did because I liked it. I had a good time.
Yeah.
It felt like, and I've been saying this,
Yeah.
it felt like a live action anime. And I mean that it doesn't just feel like an adaptation
Mm-hmm.
of a manga or an anime. It just feels like this is what anime would be if it was always live action.
Kendra, pull the car over and just try to regain your composure.
Yeah.
Get back on the road. Drive safe.
Also, this might be one of my favorite Christopher Waltz performances.
Wow,
Christoph Waltz. Yeah,
Yeah.
he doesn't really. It's not too much, but he's just been playing so many bad guys.
Yeah.
And it's always the same. That's
Yeah.
just kind of nice
Real
seeing him.
snooze fest.
Seeing him play this nice doctor. Jennifer Connelly was in
That's
it.
nice. I love Jennifer.
Maybe
Connelly.
out of her element, I think. I don't think she was quite
Oh,
comfortable in
no.
here. But I
Uh-oh.
liked the girl who played Alita,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought the action was cool. I thought it looked good. It's not going to make its money back, which is probably too bad because it ends on a see you in part 2.
That's a shame.
But yeah, for the most part, I'd say go see it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty good movie.
All right, maybe I will.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. That's New York Times. What's on the bestseller list?
Are we? Oh yeah. Let's go. I'm just opening up the folder.
Oh, good.
Oh, actually, I'm opening up the website itself.
It's a good
Why don't
idea.
you vamp a little bit? Don't you have anything to say about anything?
Well, I can tell you that I've been playing a lot of video games lately. I started Uncharted 4, which we have in our collection now. We have
Yeah.
the whole Uncharted series, which I love.
Yeah.
PlayStation original. It's only on PlayStation.
It's true.
I love the first 3,
Mhm.
and 4 is very good.
Nice.
I mean, the art is just, or whatever, the graphics are
Right.
so good. It's most of the time, I'm like, wait, is this a cutscene or am I playing right now? I don't know.
Right.
But I'm
Yeah.
really loving it.
I remember
The whole series is very good. So if you haven't played Uncharted, there's a whole bundle on PS4, which we have now, right?
Yeah, we got the trilogy bundle, we got Uncharted 4, and then we got the Lost Legacy.
Yeah.
So now we have 3 things.
I highly recommend the game. It's
we
very
got
good.
the PS4 Spider-Man game added
Yeah.
to our collection. I haven't seen it since.
I didn't even realize until you said that. I didn't know we had it.
It's
'cause
just constantly being checked out.
Yeah,
I guess
makes
there's just
sense.
lots of holds on it.
yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
Number 11 on the New York Times bestsellers list for hardcover fiction for adults
Okay.
is not one. I mean, it's just Stranger Things, Suspicious Minds by Gwenda Bond. Wait, I know who Gwenda Bond is.
Gwenda Bond writes the Lois Lane series.
Yeah, for the YA ones. Terry Ives signs up to be the test subject of government experiment to get to the bottom of a conspiracy. So there you go. Enough people wanted to read this book that it hit 11, but not enough
It's
people
a novel.
Yeah,
It's a novel. Okay.
yeah, but not enough people to make it at
Should
number
I
10.
watch season 2 of Stranger Things?
I didn't like it, but other people did.
All right.
There's just one really bad episode, but I was just not there. Everything that was cool about Stranger Things 1 was not present
Not there.
for season 2.
Okay. All right.
All right, number 10 then is a book by Nick's best friend. Actually came to Nick's birthday party last year. James Patterson. Yeah.
He wasn't able
Liar,
to make it. He sent
liar.
one of his co-authors, though, and that was
yeah.
I couldn't tell the difference.
Maxine Pietro was there.
No, I don't
She's
want
like, happy
no, I
birthday,
don't-
Nick.
No,
James Patterson.
not welcome.
And Maxine Pietro.
She's not welcome in my home.
Detective Harriet Blue has become a dangerous fugitive from the
Oh, yeah.
law as she pursues the murderer Regan Banks. Regan.
Big time. My wife loves this series.
Oh, right. We ruined this for her
We
last
did.
time.
Yeah, we spoiled it.
Oh, I'm
well,
sorry.
not us. The New York Times bestseller list.
Yeah. Number 9, Fire
My
and Blood
fault.
by George R.R. Martin, the first volume of a 2-part history of the Targaryens in Westeros. That show is coming back in April, I think.
Okay.
Final season. So, good job, George R.R. Martin.
Yeah.
You had 8 years
Yeah.
to write one book.
Couldn't do it.
Uh,
But you told me there's 2 more books, right?
yeah.
Crazy.
Number
Never going to see those books.
Number 8, The Reckoning by John Grisham, a decorated World War II veteran who
Yeah.
shoots and kills a pastor. This one's been here for a while.
Did I
16
tell you what
weeks.
happened to this with me in this situation?
Okay, go ahead.
I had it on hold
Uh-huh.
on overdrive.
Uh-huh.
Got it in, and I was like, yes, but I had a few things I needed to finish for the book club. And I was like, I'm not going to get to this in time, so I'll just return it, get myself right back on hold. I did that, put a hold on it. I was number 40.
Wow. Johnny G.
All that to say, it is a popular book, and I will never hear the audiobook of it.
That's true.
Had my chance, and I muffed it.
You hate Amazon, so I won't suggest Audible to you.
Good idea.
Okay. Number 7.
Kobo is a Amazon alternative. Kobo does a pretty good job. Similar setup.
Kobo and the Two Strings?
No, different. No. Not the same.
The Wedding Guest by Jonathan Kellerman, at number 7.
I just saw our copy in the flesh.
Milo Sturgis and Alex Delaware investigate the death of a stranger at a wedding reception.
We're also getting this on audiobook.
Yeah.
CD.
You know who I would ask?
Who?
They're +1.
Yeah.
Hey, where was he when he was murdered?
Yeah,
where were you
when
he was murdered?
And ask him if they want the chicken or the fish, because they didn't indicate on the card.
Because, well, they're +1.
Yeah.
It's probably the murdered victim's fault.
Probably.
Didn't write it down.
Yeah. Well, they never saw the invitation. You can't blame them, but you
yeah.
still need to know what they're going to eat.
Yeah. An Anonymous
22.
Girl by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen.
Yes.
Jessica Ferris's life unravels when she signs up for Dr. Shield's psychological study.
Author of The Wife Between Us. The Wife Between Us. Which I really loved. Thought was a very good book.
All right. What number are we on now? 5.
You tell me.
Devotions by Mary Oliver. A collection of more
poems.
than 200 poems.
Why is that? That's nonfiction.
Spanning 50
I hate
years
to tell
of the
you,
author's
but
career.
that's not a fiction title. That's a nonfiction title.
Nick, I'm just reading the list.
Poetry is classified as nonfiction.
Well, New York Times is classified as above our pay
Well,
grade.
they're wrong.
Oh.
They're wrong.
Number 4, Black Leopard, Red Wolf by Marlon James.
Yes. Marlon James, I haven't read his books. I've read a lot about him because we talked about having him come to the library before.
Right.
So I'm always really interested in his stuff. And this looks like it's pretty cool. It's like a start of a fantasy series, very like a literary fantasy series.
A loner named Tracker teams up with a group of unusual characters in search of a mysterious boy. Okay.
Little Boy Blue.
Yes. That was you.
That was me.
That was my impression of you.
Yes.
That's what happens when Emperor Palpatine wants something.
Yes.
Yeah. Number 3, Connections in Death by J.D. Robb. Eve Dallas scours tattoo parlors. Oh, scours.
Yes. I scored a tattoo parlor.
Eve Dallas begins her new career as a tattoo parlor owner.
Yeah.
Eve Dallas scours tattoo parlors and strip joints for clues to the cause
They
of
need a
Lila
good scouring.
Pickering's mysterious
Let me tell you.
death. Yeah. So,
Do you have any tattoos?
no. I thought about getting one, but nobody likes it.
Do you have a tattoo that you don't want to tell us about? Is it embarrassing?
I don't have one.
You got like Rainbow Bright.
I gulped there.
You
Like
did.
I was real nervous.
We're real nervous. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no, I don't have a Rainbow Bright
Okay.
tattoo
All right.
that anyone can see.
That was my guess.
Teddy Ruxpin is on the other one.
Teddy Ruxpin.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Nothing?
I was thinking about my Teddy Ruxpin back in the day.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
But
Creepiest thing in the
this
world.
girl that my mom babysat for, Robbie Sipsick, shout out, broke it.
Oh, Robbie.
And I never got another one. And the new ones are creepy.
Yeah.
The new Teddy Ruxpins are real creepy.
Bad news. Teddy Ruxpin was always kind of creepy.
Oh, I know. But these
Okay.
new ones, we were looking at it in the store, and I walked away, and it was holding my car keys.
What?
I know. That's what I said. I couldn't believe it.
Number 2, Where the Crawdads Sing.
Are we
by
done now?
Lila
Just kidding.
Owens. And
Hey, speaking of Overdrive,
Huh?
this hole just became available to me. So I'm going to start this book.
Good job.
When I finish Truly Madly Guilty, I can get through this. Go on. What's number 1?
Something I wish Nick was, The Silent Patient. I wish he was both silent and patient because he is very loud and impatient about almost everything.
Move it along.
By Alex Michaelides.
I can't help you. I don't have
Michaelides. Alex Michaelides.
Oh, the site. Yes. Okay. Yeah. I got this. We were at ALA. I got the audiobook of this.
Yeah. Theo Faber looks into the mystery of a famous painter who stops speaking after shooting her husband.
Yikes.
Yikes.
Wow. Yikes.
Yikes.
You say. Good. Yeah. This has actually gotten a lot of. This is a very buzzy book, so I'm not surprised it's number 1.
It's full of bees.
Yeah, it is. It's a bee-centric, bee-heavy book. Yep. All right, that's going to do it for the New York Times bestseller list. Should we start talking about Kwame Alexander?
Yes.
Let me ask you this question. What are you going to do while I go get Malik?
I'm going to pause this podcast.
Okay.
But I'm also going to vamp on Twitch.
Ooh, fun. Okay.
love me, say that you love me, hold me, I need you to hold me. Nah, that's not what I'm going to keep doing. I am going to save this podcast. This is what's happening. So I'm saving the podcast, right? That's important. We save it. It's 180. Can you believe it? 183. Goodness. So once the audio thing is closed, I'm going to close this, close that. And now I'm going to switch out microphones. So it's really happening. There we go. That's better. No, I set that up.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go around. All right, Malik, you can sit there right here. Okay. Do we need these stuff?
No.
Okay.
No, the other things are working now. All right. I'm going to reopen Audacity. Sorry, I was just vamping while you were gone.
I wasn't gone very long.
Yeah. Well, I was vamping.
Okay.
And we're back.
All right.
Go on.
Okay. All right, so we're going to be talking about Kwame Alexander and the crossover. But Eric, I think, well, first of all, this is Malik, everyone. Malik, say hello.
Hello.
This is Malik's debut on the All the Book Show.
Yes.
The last time we did a book club together, Malik, it was Stephen King's Needful Things, which was like 1,000 pages.
Yes, that
and
was a
dark
long book.
and sad. So this was a much easier book to read. So,
Yeah.
so
A lot
much
easier.
space. Yeah, exactly. All right. So Eric,
Yeah.
you've been doing this. You've been doing the crossover as a book club for what? 7th grade?
7th and 8th grade.
For how many years now?
A couple.
2 or 3?
It was like the first one I think I did. That wasn't just like The Outsiders or Tuck Everlasting.
Now I hadn't read it before we started talking about doing this. Were you familiar with this author?
No, I was not.
Okay.
I was not.
So why did you settle, Eric, on doing this for the book club?
I think what was happening was this. Whichever grade I picked it for, they were doing like poetry
Oh.
and interpersonal relationships was what the teacher asked for. I was like, you want something about poetry and interpersonal relationships? Okay. So this was one of the only ones that came up that matched all of that. Yeah, it worked. The kids love it.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Now, this I listened to Crossover on audiobook, and it's interesting because when you look at it, it's clearly poetry, and you can sort of read each one as its own little poem, but put together, it just feels like a novel. You know what I mean? It doesn't have that feel of poetry, which I don't read a ton of outside of like April. Do you read poetry, Malik?
I do.
Do you really?
I do.
Do you have a favorite?
I actually write poetry too.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh.
I write poetry. I read poetry. So
Wow.
for me, it did have a
Okay.
lot of poetry, a lot of rhyming too.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Do you have a favorite poet?
Langston Hughes.
Okay.
I'm more old school.
Sure.
I've been reading some new stuff lately. I can't remember her name.
Okay,
right now.
well that's all right. Langston Hughes, classic. All right, so the poetry style like appealed to you.
Oh,
You
yes,
like that about it?
yes,
Okay.
Yes. Taught me a lot too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I guess it's like 3 different forms of poetry that
really?
that he expresses.
See,
in
I
this.
don't know anything about
Well,
that.
yeah,
so-
when he's doing whenever he's actually playing the game, he's the poetry like the lines they move around the page, and that's a different form of poetry than
Okay.
just like
Right.
the normal one. I definitely can't name all the forms of poetry.
Yeah, it's I know it's like 3 or 4 different kinds of poetry.
Yeah.
that he
Actually, a lot of the kids, when we were talking about the crossover, wish he had done more of that, like using the actual page and moving the words around so it feels like the character moving around on the basketball court. They really like that.
I thought of all the ones
the
that
sound effects, like being
Oh, yeah,
stretched
the
out,
swoosh,
with the font changing and everything. They really like
Yeah,
that.
That was really cool.
Of all the ones of his that I read, I think probably Solo has the most like the most changes in the way it's written. Like it uses that visual style. I think probably more prominently in that than any of the other ones, and that one's music based. It's not sports based like
Okay.
these. Now I remember you saying that the kids that you usually do this book with like it because they can really power through it.
Yeah, the kids do like this book because yes, they do read it very quickly because each page, I mean, they're poems and they're stretched from the beginning to end, so it's almost like they're just a paragraph a page. But for a lot of the kids, that's a benefit because then they feel like they're just cruising through it because they read one and then they read the next one and then before you know it, you've read half the book. And maybe if it had been written in prose form, some of the slower readers might have had an issue with it or maybe have lost interest. So I think that works real well for that.
I mean, I find that just anytime I'm reading a book with short chapters, I'm like, well, I'll just read one more chapter and then I'll see the next one's a little short. So you get right on it. But all right, well, let's first talk about the crossover for a little bit, and then I want to get into some of his other things. So this won the Newbery Medal, and it also won the Coretta Scott King. It was an honor book for that as well. I really enjoyed the book. I honestly didn't know what to expect. I mean, I'm not. I don't read a lot of like sports novels,
right?
Because I'm a nerd. So, but so I didn't know like how that was going to appeal to me. If like so much focus on like the basketball of it was going to just be like, oh, I'm not really interested. But I thought it was actually a really good. It carried the story well. What do you think, Malik?
When you were saying that, I was thinking. For me, it talked about a lot of different things. I feel like basketball was kind of just a way to get a lot of younger people, especially guys, because I guess that's his like target audience.
Yeah.
To get them just interested in reading it. But when you read it, it's more about family.
Yeah.
And it's about the friendship.
Yeah, I agree. That's what
rivalry.
I kind of saw that because I did this at the school a few blocks from here where basketball is very big for them, and like all the guys got really into it because of the basketball. And then we read Booked, which is the soccer one, and soccer's not so big here, and they were much less interested in it.
Right.
So I think you're probably right that maybe he does just use basketball to get them in there and then tell a different, surprise them with a story that they weren't expecting.
A very interesting story. It made me feel like a teenager again when I was reading it. Yeah, because the characters, you get curious about what's going to happen, and you kind of, remember your days when you used to be 13 and how you felt and what was going on.
Everything is just so emotional.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. I think it's wonderful for older people, and if I read this when I was 12, I probably would have read more books.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was really impressed with the way that he was able to, because as we've said, I mean, it's really, if you put it down and put a traditional number of words on each page, this would be very short.
Right.
Very short.
Okay.
But when you think about, like, all that he accomplished in that, I think he used the format really well because it doesn't feel like a short story or something. You know what I mean? You just get so much about the brothers, about their relationships, about their... when JB starts to get a girlfriend and that kind of like alienates them, which is something that I think like we've all sort of experienced when your friend starts dating your friend or brother in this case starts dating someone, and you kind of like you have to deal with that change in your relationship. The way they interact with their dad, the way they interact with each other, it's a very full and very rich story. Packaged in a pretty short and easily approachable way. So I have to give him credit for that. I think it's very well done in that regard.
I think that's why it was so popular.
Yeah. I thought I don't know. It's interesting to me now because I know we obviously this wouldn't even really be like a YA book, right? This is what we classify it as a.
Yeah, I don't really because I get a lot of copies from other libraries for the book clubs, and they often don't come back marked as YA.
So it's really kind of even meant for like a maybe 10 to 12.
Yeah, but I mean, that's pretty... I think I've only used it once for the 8th grade, and then I made it the 7th grade book.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much the age range. So
what was... An element of it that was kind of interesting for me was that their dad, Chuck, is 39 in this. You know what I mean? Which is like only slightly older than I am. So like... I'm reading this.
Yeah. So we won't spoil the crossover, but I have a video of Kwame Alexander apologizing to one of the kids at the book club for me. When I was in Seattle, I told him he made one of the kids choke up and almost cry during the book club, and he had me get my phone out and video him being like, "Listen, I'm sorry I made you cry. Same thing happened to me. You got to write the story as it needs to be written. Read my other books."
And that was the climax was really good. I feel like too, because it's a surprise. Something that you would never expect.
Well, and it all made sense too. It was another things where I just think it was structured. It was structured very well. So let's talk a little bit about the characters. Who's the main character in this? Is it Josh?
Right? I know that's Filthy.
Yeah, Filthy.
Yeah,
that's
right.
Nasty. That's right.
Is he Josh or?
Josh is the one who gets the nickname.
Narrating the story.
Yeah, and Filthy was the nickname his dad called him. It was based on a jazz musician, right? It was his dad's favorite. So I don't know. I guess what I liked about him was, I thought the author did a good job of showing his struggle to kind of find what he's passionate about, work that into his life, deal with things in his relationships, both with his dad and his brother, and the way those change and everything. But I liked the way that Josh, or Filthy, I liked the way you saw him grow. You know what I mean? You saw him as the book started, and by the time you got to the end, you got a real sense of like progression in that character. Like that. I mean, what you?
Yeah. No, you're right.
He's a pretty strong central character.
Yeah, definitely. I like how it kind of subliminally kind of mentions that and towards the end, just like you said, kind of him just really he go through all those struggles throughout the book, and then at the end it's almost like he's kind of arrived. I just had that kind of feeling when I as I was ending it, like he's really maturing.
I think because they're twins, the boys kind of grew up just always being with each other and always sort of having a built-in support. And when something kind of challenges that, when JB gets a girlfriend and kind of pulls away, and JB becomes less and less, his love of basketball kind of goes away a little bit. They have to deal with that. Like, they have to suddenly it's like Josh is really on his own and has to figure out what it means to just like be his own person, which is something that everybody has to do at some point. And I thought that was I thought Kwame Alexander did a good job of making that a really. It's just like I said, it's a journey. You see that whole journey as it goes by.
There's a lot of people who really wanted a sequel. But I guess he is more saying no, that was it. That was the ending of it.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get a sequel.
Nick and I both read Rebound, which is a prequel.
I didn't read that one yet.
It's a prequel.
I really liked it. You should read it someday if you feel like it. Okay.
It's about their dad growing up as a kid, and losing his own father and growing up and everything. And there is a coda at the end that has the characters that kind of it's not really a sequel, but it almost kind of feels like this is the end now.
Yeah.
This is as close as you're going to get to a sequel to this story. Just like a few pages of visiting those characters after the end of crossover.
Oh, okay.
So maybe he tried to appease them a little bit.
Yeah, you do kind of get those characters again, and I think that coda is later than crossover.
Yeah.
So it's kind of after that.
Yeah.
Everything happens. So of all the books that I've read, so I read Solo, booked, Crossover, and Rebound, and then a couple of the children's picture books. Rebound, I liked the best.
Wow.
I just thought, I don't know. I mean, you're following Chuck, who's the father of Josh and JB, as Eric said, dealing with the loss of his father, going to stay with his grandparents for a while, and just kind of like, I don't know, again, trying to find himself, trying to like stay out of trouble, trying to find something that he's passionate about. And it's sort of, because we already know Chuck as an adult, and we know some of the things that are coming, we know some of the things that happen, I just felt like having that knowledge of him as an adult in my head while I was reading about what he was going through as a kid just made it that much more powerful. So I thought that one was really effective. Just as a story, I finished that one and had kind of a wow when I put it down, because really I found it very moving. What I like about that, I think I showed you this Malik at the kids' desk. That one has comic book panels in it as well.
Yeah,
and that's the only one that I've read that has that. Have you seen that in any other place?
No, just that one.
But you were kind of underwhelmed with Rebound?
No, I thought it was good. I'm just less whelmed, I guess, than you were. I don't think I would say it's better than the crossover.
So you thought?
Oh, really? Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it was still good.
I guess maybe I just personally related more to to Chuck's like journey in Rebound than I did to the brothers in crossover. Yeah. But I mean, I think they're both very good.
They're very grandfatherly.
Yes, that's it. That must be it.
Is it written like in poetry?
It is.
style
Yeah,
too?
still. Yeah, it is. It is. But it does have a few, maybe not a ton, maybe like 10 comic book pages mixed in there to tell. Usually, it's when Chuck is kind of imagining what something could be. You know, when he imagines picking up a basketball and. I guess because Chuck is my age too, a lot of like the references and things that were happening there, you know, it was more like, oh, I remember that. Yeah. Like he talks a lot about the Harlem Globetrotters, which I loved when I was a little kid. We went to see the Harlem Globetrotters. I got souvenirs. I loved them. So like it was really fun to all that talk about the Harlem Globetrotters, which I guess dates me more than anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like Rebound. Booked, what did you think of Booked? So, like Eric said, Booked is a similar format, similar style, but it's about soccer.
Yeah. I mean, it's about soccer in the same way that the crossover is about basketball, where it's really about, you know, his family life and other things going on with him at school and everything. It's good. I don't know. The kids were less than thrilled with it. They all wanted to read Booked as soon as we did the crossover. So we read that like at the crossover at the beginning of the year, and then at the end of the year it was like, all right, we can read Booked. And they were less than thrilled with it. They still liked it, but it didn't really, I don't know, ignite them the same way.
I know, and I can't put my finger on what it is exactly. I mean, the main character's parents are having problems in their relationship, and that's something that he has.
Are they getting a divorce?
They are, yeah.
Yeah, I think what's going on in his life is just less interesting than it was in the crossover. With those characters in the crossover, their situation and their dad and their growing up and becoming apart just felt different than like watching somebody watch two other people break up.
It made me kind of wonder, because like of the 4 that I read, all of the kids are having like serious issues with their parents. Yeah. Like either there's like a death, as we said, or there's the divorce, or just something in Solo they just don't connect at all. So it's always like, I kind of wonder like what his relationship with his parents are in real life or something. That's something he's like writing through or whatever, because
it's relatable too.
Yeah.
I think a lot of kids can relate to that.
Yeah.
And just even with Booked, I think a lot of his stuff is probably international, so it's all around the place, and I think it's more of a culture thing. I'm probably sure places where soccer is really huge.
Yeah.
That book probably has the same effect as crossover.
Yeah, that's true.
I think if you can relate to soccer more, because like in some countries, soccer is
the biggest thing.
It's huge.
Definitely.
I think a problem some of the kids had was also that there was less soccer in Booked than there was basketball in the crossover.
True. That's
really?
true.
So maybe they
it wasn't that much.
Yeah, there wasn't that much, and it felt like maybe there was even less.
Well, he's a good author, but it's a big challenge to make soccer interesting. So maybe it wasn't. With apologies to soccer fans.
All of the rest of the world.
Yeah, really. Then Solo, was the last one that I read. Solo came out in 2017. I thought Swing was a sequel, but I think they're just totally separate.
Yeah, I mean, Booked isn't a sequel to... No, it's like
not.
A spiritual sequel.
Exactly, but I thought Solo and Swing were connected, but I don't think they are. Solo was co-written with Mary Rand Hess, and I thought that it was the weakest of the ones that I read. I don't know.
Is it about a musician?
Yeah, it's the son of basically a rock star, and the dad's bad reputation kind of falls back on the kid. So like he has trouble with friends, and the girl he's dating her parents don't want her to date him because his dad is this like wild rock star. And he goes in looking a little bit more about his roots, trying to figure out who his biological parents are, and he takes a trip to Africa to try to meet them. And the story's good. It just, I don't know, something about it, I didn't feel the poetry of it was quite as strong as some of the others. So I don't know. Have you heard much about that, reviews or anything about Solo and Swing?
Not too much. I mean, They're popular. I know they were on the best sellers list a lot. So.
Yeah. Well,
I haven't read Swing either.
His style is very enjoyable, so it makes total sense. But I would say out of all of them that I've read, I think Solo just didn't really do much for me.
Okay.
So not bad or anything. And then, well, we read a couple of the picture books as well. If you want to talk about those real quick.
Sure.
Oh,
he has 4 picture books for little kids. Acoustic Rooster and His Barnyard Band, Indigo Bloom in the Garden City, Little Boys Soar, and Surf's Up. So Acoustic Rooster and His Barnyard Band is just that, a rooster who has a band, and all of the band are famous jazz musicians, basically with like animal names.
Okay.
You know, so it's like it's Ella Finch-Gerald, and she's a Finch, that sort of thing. So it's cute. I didn't really. Have you read that one?
No.
It's it's fun. It's cute. It's not much. Indigo Bloom in the Garden City is about basically like trying to make a difference with the.
Indigo goes green. Indigo Bloom. I mean, that's what it is. That's the story.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in the Garden City. She's basically trying to figure out a way
She's trying to make like rooftop gardens.
Yeah.
And things. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was okay.
Yeah.
My favorite, I think, was Surf's Up, which was about 2 frogs. And one frog just wants to read books, and the other frog wants to go surfing.
Yeah.
And so they kind of eventually switch places where they're both super into the book, and the other one.
It is a funny kid's book. The frog that's reading keeps being like, yo! And the frog who just wants to go surfing is like, what? He's like, a whale just showed up. He's like, oh, okay. And then he just keeps like overreacting. At one point, like he just goes flying off the surfboard. He's like, I don't believe it. Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I don't know. I mean, he's trying to make Moby Dick seem interesting.
Right.
So
That's true.
That's what this kid is reading. That's
true.
what the frog that reads is reading, and he can't believe it. I'm like, boy, this must be the junior novelization, because I can't imagine anybody being like, awesome, Moby Dick.
Yeah. I did read the junior novelization of Moby Dick when I was a little kid.
And?
I loved it.
Wow.
The illustrated classics. Did you ever read those illustrated classics? Did you ever see those?
Yeah.
I loved those. They're so good.
I wasn't too crazy about it.
Oh yeah. Some were good, some were not so good. Anyway, I'm glad that you put this on my radar, Eric, because I probably would never have picked this book up. I think I would have just saw basketball on the cover and been like, no, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But
me too. Like, not to mention, I have a lot in common with the author. I like did some research on him and stuff like that.
he's an interesting guy.
Yeah, I guess he's like an activist for literacy.
Yeah, he
goes
is.
all around the world.
He does.
He's like was in Africa, training teachers and helping building schools and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's like it's this one. It's this thing. It's called TED Talks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was watching. It was.
He
was
TED
speaking.
Talk? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it's
All
called
right,
The
I didn't
Power of Yes. And he talked about how he sent the book to 21 different publishers.
Oh,
and
really?
they all turned him down. So he kind of self-published it. And next thing you know, the whole world loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a really powerful speech.
Yeah.
I listened to it and I was like, wow, that's really relatable.
Yeah. Well, as I was looking stuff up too, because Solo talks a lot about some of the work he's doing in Africa as well, and it made me respect him.
Yeah. Oh yes, he does a lot of work, and then his sense of humor and his smile. It seemed like he lights up a room. And
Yeah.
he goes.
Yeah. Well, I think he really does.
You guys met him, so I know.
Well, I met him, but
I only saw him from
he's
afar.
He's very I mean, it was early in the morning, and
Still, if
the
you
line.
smile in the early in the morning.
Yeah, the line was pretty long, but he was friendly and talking. I mean, and I stopped him because he was signing the book for me, and like I told him the story of how we used this for the book club. So like that could have been annoying to have like somebody like, oh, well, he's gonna share something, but like he listened, laughed, and then did the video.
Oh,
so
cool.
Yeah,
well, I think
take
there are authors who write the books and cash their checks and that's it. And I think he could do that and that would be fine.
Yeah.
But it seems like what's more important to him is like just advancing literacy.
Yeah.
Getting
really
books into kids' hands, getting them material that they find interesting and engaging. Books that, like the crossover where they can feel a sense of accomplishment, finishing a nice thick novel. It's making poetry relatable and interesting to kids, which is a lot of people have tried to do that.
Right.
And a lot of people have failed, so it's really hats off to him for that.
Yeah.
I think he does excellent work and has the following and the acclaim to show that.
Oh yes.
So
Okay.
All right.
Now let's go say everything we said again
At the book club. That's right. That's right. We're leading the book club today on the crossover.
Yeah.
So
We've nothing left.
yeah, that's right. And we'll just sit there quietly and be like, "Why don't you guys tell us?" We've, they can watch this episode.
Yeah.
And they
What
can
did you
decide if
think
they
of
like
the
that or not.
poetry? Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, Malik, for doing
Thanks
the book
for
club
having
with
me.
us and
Thank you for having me.
being on the podcast. Anything else you want to mention, Eric, for library news before we close up shop?
I forgot even what day it is.
Well, I can go. Creek Bend Band.
First,
Okay.
we're showing Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Oh, okay.
March 1st.
Okay.
Ralph is going to break the internet. Or maybe it's March 8th. I'll have to double check. Coming up is Ralph Breaks the Internet.
The first is the first Friday of March. We're also, our senior matinee this month is Mr. Church starring Eddie Murphy, which is on the 26th at 2 o'clock. Eddie Murphy hasn't done a good movie in a really long time, and this has got really good reviews. So
Oh, this is a newer one?
yeah, it is.
Oh.
Yeah, it was kind of a smaller indie movie, but did get a lot of good reviews. Showing that at 2 o'clock on the 26th. Then Creek Bend Band is coming back March 7th at 7 o'clock. They're always a favorite. No, sorry, Emerald Isle for St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, I've sent stuff out to teachers, so there'll be stuff on the walls about the photo show and getting them.
The
We're going
teen
to start
photo
collecting photos sometime in April, but that means start taking your photos now.
That's right.
That's it.
Book clubs are currently reading Truly Madly Guilty, and Eric and I are going to be starting the sci-fi book club next month, where we'll be reading Caves of Steel by Isaac Asimov.
Yeah.
I think that's going to do it.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks again to Malik. Thanks
for
everybody.
having me.
We'll see you next time.
Also, bye everybody on the stream.
Bye.